People wanted to watch travel videos because they want to know what to eat, where to go, and how to do it. This is a gamble. There's so many people trying it so hard that will not become successful.
Look at you.
This has been in the making for a while. I don't really know what I'm doing, but it's supposed to be something meaningful and creative.
Wojtek is a digital nomad.
I don't even know exactly how I've made this work.
He has traveled the world for 555 days and evolved from a vlogger to a filmmaker.
This is where we live now, permanently.
Now he's roaming around Europe asking deeply thoughtful questions.
What is freedom? Who am I? What is home?
Let's get real.
And he was the first creator in my orbit.
What is your creator journey? Like, what brought you to this point now where you make videos for the internet?
To sum it up in one word, it would be sheer overconfidence. I remember YouTube starting and then being just a space with cat videos. That was fun for a while, then I never visited it again. And then my brother told me like, no, it actually developed. There's like channels and there's like real series and you can watch that. And I thought, huh? That's a really good alleyway to make a little bit of money. Easy. So I started creating little montages and little travel videos, filming them with literally the cheapest camera I could find on Amazon. Then I started working 2 jobs simultaneously while finishing my studies. And you might think, well, what's the rush? And the rush was me and my then girlfriend wanted to go travel the world, which was another perfect occasion to make content. So I got into travel videos and travel vlogs. And in those 1.5 years that we've been traveling, I hit 2 points that changed the way I make content today. There was a point where I was just sick and tired of seeing my own face on the screen, always. Just all being about me. The other thing was that I got to the point where I felt like, I think I want to do like a short film, a kind of a movie, which is not a vlog, not a YouTube video. And that was the whole project, What is Freedom, which today is my most successful video and the video I'm proudest of.
And that video became an instant success, or how did that video develop for you? Like,
not really. You could say in terms of the views I was getting at that time, it was a success because it got like 1,000, 1,500 views. So for me, that was like already a lot. But no, it was no instant success. But I think actually the pandemic and like being confined to our own spaces and countries in a way contributed a lot to it, because that was the first time that freedom actually became a topic people consciously think about. And now even is used for educational purposes all around the world, which just still blows my mind. People from Korea comment that they were supposed to watch this either in school or for university. Yeah.
I didn't know that aspect.
It's, like I said, it's until today, it's mind-blowing for me.
I've seen your videos already go from travel documentations to filmmaking tutorials almost, to really deep explorations of philosophical topics. Is this question of what is freedom, is that what started this interest in philosophy, or was that present before?
That has always been there. I have a lot of topics in my mind I want to speak about, but I rarely find people to speak about with.
Mm-hmm.
And as a migrant kid in Europe, I developed this habit of being very loud, being very noisy, being very talkative around people. But once you disconnect me from that, once you leave me alone, I'm actually very much inside myself. And if you watch my old travel videos, even back then I was trying to incorporate those topics into travel videos, and I just couldn't make it work. I just didn't find a way that people would appreciate. People wanted to watch travel videos or want to watch travel videos because they want to know what to eat, where to go, and how to do it. Not to be confronted or even conflicted with deep philosophical questions.
And now you've already had like sort of an arc with what your videos are about. There's definitely a big arc in your technical and aesthetical skills. Do you consider yourself a YouTuber?
I guess I am a YouTuber. There's no way around it. Like I said, YouTube originally was just a pathway to become an independent artist, to create independent content. I also like the idea that on YouTube you are not confined to making series in a particular way, movies in a particular way, documentaries in a particular way, but you can like merge styles and create something new. I think that's great, and I think that's needed in media. Am I a filmmaker? I guess I am a filmmaker in the sense that I know how to set up a camera, how to set up the mics, and how to film something. Sometimes when working together with my wife, I do that for her. When I would try to shoot a documentary, I would know how to get around, but I would not call myself a documentary filmmaker. So that's there. But moving on, I really don't know. I'm very much in the process right now of maybe calling it quits. It's I've been so long in the space where people tell me, your stuff is so great. Your stuff will go through the roof. I have so many comments that tell me, man, I can't wait for you to go viral. I can't wait for you to get what you deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I love those comments, they always also hurt a little bit because I don't see it coming. It is, there's this element in being a creator and a YouTuber where people want to make you feel like it is literally in your hand by the acts you do to become successful.
Yeah.
Make a good title, make a good thumbnail, make a good video, grab the attention, retain attention. I mean, it gives you a positive feeling in the sense of I'm in control to make this happen. And it's true. If you don't put out any videos, you won't become successful at that. If you put out videos, you at least have the chance to become successful at that.
And there's no gatekeeper, no director, no producer that tells you what to make. It is totally up to you.
But then on the other side, this is a gamble. There's so many people trying it so hard. There's so many underappreciated creators you and I have never heard of, you and I have heard of, that are not and will not become successful at this.
Okay.
And that's maybe a hard pill to swallow. But at the same time, I feel like this needs to be all right. It also needs to be all right. I personally need to find a way and a space to exist in which I can say, I will stop doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I love that in my own way. This is one of the hardest things I've ever done. But I'm just not sure if I can do this anymore.
You clearly have talent and you have been able to reach an audience before. What brings you to a point where you say, I'm going to quit this. I'm not going to go further with this?
I think my first intuition was the stress that it brings with it, but the truth is just the money it provides. In an ideal world, let's assume there's universal basic income and I have enough money to go by and support my family. I'll keep doing that. I'm not doing that for my financial gain or success. I'm not... A little part of me is doing it for validation, but I'm not doing it for validation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the thing that kind of comes natural to me. I just want to tell stories. And if there's a way to do that and earn a living with that, I will do that. If I can't do that, I'll need to find another route. Because this life is for living and not for creating. Creating is a beautiful part of it, but it's not all of it.
So if you could figure out a way to have enough money and also make YouTube videos, that question wouldn't be there.
No, I don't think so.
Do you have any thoughts of what success means to you?
Success for me is to live a whole life. It's not only to be successful in that space, or to lead a successful or I don't know, impressive van life. It is to live a life that satisfies me in all areas, not to the maximum. That's illusory, but just as good as I can make it to be. And I've just realized especially over the last 12 months that I invested so much energy, time and money into this YouTube thing that I've pursued this path that leads me to maybe becoming a YouTube creator one day, but leads me away from all the other things that I want in my life. And right now, I'm at a point in time where I can pursue that career and put even more effort and energy into it, and maybe I'll make it happen. But it may actually come at the expense of all the other things that I want and care about in life. And I'm just not sure if I'm ready and happy to do that.
Why does it not align with your personal life?
This is a lot coming together. This is finances, biology, and now I'm being all seriously, it's finances, biology, and also kind of a work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to raise a kid while I'm being constantly stressed out about creating content and making enough money to just support us. I don't want to, and it's not only the child that is part of that, but then also like the family that we are, right? I don't want to drag my family through this.
So did you set yourself any kind of limit where you make that decision? I feel like right now you're still very much in the I'm not sure phase, where to go.
Yeah, I mean, I was sure at the beginning of the year. I said I'll do it this year and then I'm done. Then many things happened that led me to not do the things I wanted to do or do them way slower than I intended them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm very unsatisfied with the outcome, and I'm trying to kind of argue to myself that, oh, I just need a little bit more time, but it's kind of prolonging the process again and again. So it might actually be just this year, or maybe until my next birthday, which will be early next year. And maybe then I'm done pursuing this full time. I will still need an outlet for my creative energy. I mean, what is there is also that I started this because I didn't want that job where someone else tells me what to do. And I thought YouTube would be different, but now I'm also at a point where I feel like, well, there's so many things I need to comply in terms of not only the community guidelines, but how to make a title, how to make a thumbnail, how to even cut so as to not only grab but hold the attention. It's taking a little bit of the fun out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it started very often to feel like a job. It stopped feeling like, oh, I have an idea, I want to express that and I want to share that with the world. But it started being this thing where I need to do this, and this needs to be done that way. And if I don't do it that way, this is no chance of being successful and it will be rejected, which very much feels just like employment again.
When I look at your recent videos, they are very unique in the sense that I don't know anybody else who makes videos like this on that level.
And you're not alone.
But you're not reaching a wide audience as if you were to follow those standard guidelines. Do you ever think about like how different you can be but still being acceptable? Or
that's a tough question to answer, and so far that I will eventually make it the way I want to make it, but I will still make a YouTube video because that has become a format. I would love to begin a YouTube video with a beautiful environmental shot, 15 seconds, very slow, then a nice, intriguing score slowly rising. It doesn't work.
You want to make a feature film?
Well, sometimes. But I would also just like to do a little short film that starts off like that has just a different rhythm, and it just doesn't work with the platform. Our attention is bound to the platforms. So I will make something that can on YouTube, and in that way I will adjust to it, but I won't bend myself to a point where it's basically not me making the video anymore, but where I become a YouTube personality that needs to be that way because YouTube kind of demands it. I don't want to go there.
I mean, it sounds to me like you're much more an artist who wants to create art away from commercial success requirements.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, on the other side, I'm also just a dumb idiot that likes to play Zelda all day. So, that's there too.
That's the realities of the 21st century.
That's there too. And I want to be understood clearly here. This is like one side of me. There's another side of me that just loves the content creation game, that loves to do fun experiments. I mean, it's kind of how I got into it, that likes to do swipe and zoom transitions and nonsense. These are the both sides of me, like, that I try to balance, having fun with it, but then also going deep and being real.
If you were to start over, forget the audience that you've built, the videos that you put out, what would you take from that? How would you change your process to releasing videos online?
Make things simpler. It's what I'm doing right now. What I enjoy right now is that I'm merging my old vlogging style with everything I learned about filmmaking, and I'm trying to create a new format of deliverance with that. But I also, I was for a long time trying so hard to take a humongous, ginormous topic, condense it down into 10 to 15 minute videos. And what came out of it were those dense pieces where you need to sit down and for 50 minutes be like, taking notes, pause, think about that, move on. But it's not it can be an enjoyable watch, but it's not something that you can just consume and you're like, oh, I got this. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do now is to make it more bite-sized, really pick out one aspect, talk about that one aspect that I did not understand back in the day. I always wanted to talk about the big things, talk about the big ones, not realizing that to actually get there, you need to prepare people for that.
If you're enjoying conversations like these and want to support our mission of building a home for creators, you can help us with one simple step. Just hit that subscribe button and help us get to 500 subscribers by the end of this month. That way we can unlock some new community features and give away a creator starter package to one of you. Because the whole point of this channel is to inspire and enable more creators. So I really hope we can come together and reach that goal maybe sooner than later. But with that out of the way, let's get back to the show.
I don't know if I remember this correctly, but I feel like you said at some point you're not a filmmaker. But then I look at your work and it's just like incredibly beautiful, incredibly well made, especially knowing that you're doing this by yourself. Way better than some of the proper narrative films I've worked on. And how did you get there?
First, let me say thank you. And then let me answer that by being an idiot. By literally failing and doing things wrong and being unsatisfied with things, but still getting them out there, still finishing them. I think it's a crucial element to finish something and put it out as to progress in what you're trying to become good at. Otherwise, if those projects are always unfinished, you don't really have a reason to look back at something and say, not in a resentful, but like in a productive, constructive way, say to yourself, I wish I could have done that better, and then do it better. I did a lot of things wrong. I self-trained myself on YouTube mostly. And then I was just trying to go beyond that. So not only rely on what people tell me what to do, but also bring myself in there and kind of my feeling of aesthetics, my kind of storytelling, my feeling for how something should look like and fit together. I think that's an important part many people overlook. You should not take yourself completely out of the process of making the art, but you should bring yourself in there. And even though someone tells you this is the way you should do it, when you feel like, no, I think I would like it better that way, pursue that and just try to figure out why you want to do that and what kind of practicality that actually brings to the process.
So one question I like to ask, and which I feel like is like perfect for the situation, is if I could give you a magic wand, and you can create any project. There's no requirements, no strings attached. What is your dream project? If you could make that happen with the snip of a finger.
I heard you ask that question before and I thought about it. Can I give a vague answer?
Sure.
I would want to create something that is completely unique and new to all the places that we consume media. I would like to create something no one right now is thinking about. And I'm not speaking about a video, I'm speaking about a visual and auditory experience that is different, that is new. It might have to do something with holographs in the future, I don't know. I just would like to do something that really touches you as a person, but also completely immerses you in the story, more so than a video or a movie can. That's the vague answer.
That was a very vague answer, but I'll take it.
Can I explain a little bit of my reasoning behind that? I think we have a big problem in society, creativity, and the arts, and that's a program of functionality, where like everything you create needs to have kind of a reason built into it. And you can see, for instance, in German architecture very much where that has led for a while. Like you have these buildings that are from the outside just extremely ugly because they're purely functional. They're just like squares and rectangles in which people were housed or that were used as, I don't know, institutions, schools, whatever. And that has never been beautiful, and it has never become beautiful. No one looks at those buildings and is like, that time, they've done really great buildings in that time. No. But then you look at ancient times where things have been built aesthetically pleasing just for the sake of being aesthetically pleasing. And I feel like we need more of that. I feel like we need more experiences, more creative outlets, more encounters with like true creativity. Something that you look at and you feel like, wow, I don't know what it has just done to me, but it feels different and it feels real.
You go deeper faster than anybody else that I know. And there's so many layers to unpack here. But you've already given me like a lot to think about and to chew through, if you will.
I'm basically like a reverse astronaut. I don't go to the moon, but I go deep at rocket speed.
Hey, somebody needs to go there. So maybe let's bring this kind of back down to earth, if you can. I don't know, but
I mean, I have this idea of making an actual feature film documentary about the question, what is freedom? Then another about what is home, and then another about who am I? Not I, the person, but everyone. Who are you? Who am I?
Maybe that is where you'll take this in years' time.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'll just retreat to a solitary mountain hut.
No, that's my plan. You can't have that.
I think there's more than just one hut in all of the world. We'll find a space for the both of us.
We can be neighbors, 2 mountain peaks apart.
Right. We'll have one of those can telephones, like with a very long wire.
All right, sounds good. But yeah, thank you for taking the time and opening up like that. Interesting to hear your thoughts, and I truly hope that you stick around in one way or another in the creative space. But I can also totally understand if you just, I don't know, become a family man or whatever it is you want to be.
Yeah, and I will probably forever stay part of the community that you are now building. Thanks for sitting down with me, and thanks for all the kind words that you shared with me, and for just keeping up with my weirdness.
Hey, what makes us weird makes us great.
I think that's good. That's a good way to end this.
Yes.